It's a chat day, number 21, maybe? 9 plus 10. It's definitely the episode number that we're on. Anyway, my name is Alex Does F1 Stuff, and welcome to an F1 chat. I haven't done one of these for a while. I think I'm on episode 21. It's definitely the 20-something, but I'm not sure. And today, we are not going over should we expect to see a different Ferrari from testing in Austria, because probably no. It's mainly their engine that has been turned down as the, how do I call it? Their sort of legal grey quotation marks engine of 2019 has been officially made legal in 2020. So they're going to be probably on par with Racing Point maybe, as their aero isn't fantastic. We are not going to be talking about AlphaTauri firing up their AT01 at Imola. We are not going to be talking about Alexander Zanardi having a big crash in his, what did they call it? A hand tricycle or something like that? His bike being induced in a coma. We won't be talking about that. We will not be talking about, this is a really bad chat, isn't it, if we're not talking about any of these stories, but we are not talking about F1 planning to sell some checkered flag squares for their pretty good Racers 1 thing to try and be more inclusive and get more people in. It's cool. However, we are going to be talking about some new TV graphics that Formula 1 have set up, and click, there we go. More TV graphics that F1 are going to be bringing to Austria. Hopefully, they're good. So I've just been on social medias a little bit today, and I've seen a couple of reviews of these and some pictures of them, as there's one right here of Hamilton with some car performance scores. Rank 5th. Quite what that means. Score 9 out of 10. Okay, yeah, that's quite good. Time lost 2/10. Handling is towards understeer. If they're accurate, if they work, it's cool. As long as they don't pop up for lots of times, then it's going to be cool. Otherwise, it's just going to clog up the screen for no reason. I know they tried to introduce the what was it? It was like the tyre graphics, whether it was last year or 2 years ago or something like that, to show the tyre degradation, and that was just rubbish. It was just inaccurate, and I think they ditched it after a little while because it clearly just wasn't working. But anyway, Formula 1 is poised to unveil a raft of new graphics for a revised 2020 season, developed alongside the Amazon Web Services. Oh, I never knew that's what AWS stood for. With the first set to make an appearance at the Austrian Grand Prix in 10 days' time. Only 10 days until we have some racing. Finally. So fans watching the 2020 season as it kicks off at the Red Bull Ring will get to see a brand new car performance scores graphic comparing different cars' performances throughout the lap in real time. Oh, so is this going to change every lap? Okay, I haven't read this, I'm just assuming what I'm assuming from just reading what I have read. I need to work on words. So say every time you cross a lap, you'd have your fastest laps for lap 3. Hamilton would rank 5th, scoring 9 out of 10, but he's 2/10 down on the lead time, and I guess they've got some telemetry that says he had some understeer. I mean, yeah, it could work. To me, it seems like kind of pointless graphics, but we'll keep reading. So following on from that, 5 additional new graphics will be rolled out throughout the rest of the season, offering never-before-seen insight into the on-track action, including ultimate driver speed comparison. My god, that sounds aggressive. Which will allow fans to see how their favourite... You're missing a letter in there. Favourite drivers to compare to other drivers in history, dating back to 1983. To help determine the fastest driver of all time. But you're only going back as far as 1983? So you're missing out... What's that, 33 years of the sport? Almost half? Doesn't seem right. So this will debut on August 7th. at the Grand Prix of Silverstone for the 70th anniversary. High speed, low speed corner performance. Okay. Which will show fans how well drivers tackle both the fastest 109 miles an hour and slowest below 78 miles an hour bend on the track. This will debut at Spa. Driver skills rating. What's this? Which will break down and score each driver. What? Okay. Car team development. No, that doesn't need to be in the race. That doesn't need to be in the race. Qualifying and race pace predictions, which will gather data from practice and qualifying laps to predict which team is set to perform best during. We do that anyway. We don't need a graphic for that. You can just determine, oh look, Mercedes are 1-2 in all the practice sessions. Guess they're going to be 1-2 in qualifying and the race. Or, oh cool, a Ferrari is up at the top in practice 1 and practice 2. They're about 3rd or 4th in practice 3, so they're going to be in the top 5. We don't need a graphic for that. That seems a bit silly. Okay, so what is this one? I can click through these. Okay. Car performance scores. So first is Gasly, 9.5 out of 10, fastest. Then Hamilton. What? So what is the car performance ones though? It doesn't say. Where are the car performance graphics comparing different cars' performance throughout the lap in real time, based on low speed cornering, high speed cornering, straight line performance, and car handling. Is it really necessary? I really don't think it's necessary. Speaking about the new graphics, Formula One's Director of Data Systems, Rob Smith. Oh, I didn't know he was that now. Over the past 2 years, Formula One has embraced AWS's services to perform intense and dynamic data analysis. The F1 insights we're delivering together are bringing fans closer to the track than ever. We're excited to be expanding this successful relationship, blah 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 blah, and that's it. I don't like it. No, it. What? How do I talk about this? So going through these 5, here. This one, qualifying and race pace predictions are completely pointless in my opinion. We just looking at the practice sessions, you get a rough idea in your own head of these cars are going to do quite well, these cars aren't going to do quite well. You don't need a number and a prediction to do that, because once you do start putting predictions to it, then you're going to have like the racing gods come in and people are going to crash, and then the predictions aren't going to be good enough to predict crashes and stuff. So you don't need to put a number on it, you don't need to put a graphic to it, because then it's just going to be wrong a lot of the time, and it's just a big waste of time. The car development and overall performance, allowing fans to see teams' pace development throughout the season based on their race-to-race performance, that's quite cool, because then you can see each team's progression like through the year. That one's quite cool. Not in the race, it isn't. That's something that you will talk about in Ted's notebook or something like that after the race, when you're going through the championship order and stuff. You can say, look, here's the driver's progression, or here's the team's progression through time and through this year. They've gained this much performance on some aero updates that they've brought to the track. It doesn't need to be said in the race. I am actually just assuming that all of these are going to be in the race, because it does say F1 to debut new TV graphics. So I'm assuming those last 2 are going to be in the race. It makes more sense for this one to be outside, in which case it's more okay than being in the race. But the moment these 2 start popping up in the race, then it's not okay. Then I'm not going to enjoy it, because to me they don't need to be. They're not the right type of graphics that you want to be seeing in the races. So the driver skills rating, which will break down and score driver skills to help identify the best total driver on the track. Again, that's quite cool. That would be a good thing to pop up like halfway through, maybe, or you split the race into segments. maybe quarters or something like that, so you can say this driver had a good first stint, or maybe pit stops you could split it up in, but then people have different strategies. They'll have to find a way of saying over this many laps this driver was the best, over this many laps this driver was. It doesn't need to pop up often, just occasionally, that one. I don't mind that one. The high speed, low speed corner performance, there's no need. There isn't a need for that. We don't need to know if they're going slowly through a corner, or if they're going how well they're going through the low or high speed corners, because you can tell when you're watching it. Oh wow, they've hit the apex, they've done that really well. Oh no, they've locked up and they've gone wide. You can see it with your own eyes how well they're going through the corner, especially if they're battling. You can see who's doing better because they end up closing the gap or going for the overtake. It doesn't need a graphic. Then the ultimate driver speed comparison. Again, what's the point? I don't know whether I'm just being overly negative to all of these, but what's the point to them? During the race, you just need the order down the left, the ladder list. Then occasionally, I like that scrolling bar. Do they even still have the scrolling bar along the bottom, the horizontal one that just rolls across of showing their intervals? I know they had that when Jake Humphries on the BBC was presenting it. When they had the like slightly lopsided boxes of the graphics. I don't know. I think I'm just being overly critical of these. I feel they're really good stats. They're going to be really good visual stats. Don't put them in the race. Put them after the race. Put them in a statistics discussion after the race. That would be perfect. I would stay to watch that. I love statistics and graphs as much as the next guy, and visual representations of data. But don't put them in the race, because I don't want to be seeing this. I would quite happily watch the race, finish the race, and then work out all of these stats, and then have a statistician or Ted or whoever go through and go, here we go on lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, these guys were the best, and here's how they all change and morph, and different lines and graphs and faces or whatever move up and down accordingly. You can show different clips of, so say with their high speed, low speed corner performance, you can pick out the outliery ones, so people that did it really well, people that did it really poorly, and then after the race you can go, here's how he did it well, which we didn't see on TV, but we saw it done poorly because he locked up, went wide, went into a spin, had an accident, something like that. I don't know. And then same with this ultimate driver speed comparison. The fact it's only dating back to 1983, and then they're trying to determine the fastest driver of all time. I don't know. It doesn't seem sensible. And this one, the car performance, I don't know. I think I'm just being very overly critical about all of these, but it just seems like a big waste to put them in the race, and it doesn't need to be in the race. But I think that is my rambling done. They don't need to be in the race. Just pop them in a nice little statistics section, because I will watch that like crazy if they make a statistics section. But I don't want to be distracted from the race by looking at a lower third graphic and then going, oh, that's quite cool. Oh no, it's disappeared now. What did that say? What did that mean? But that is all I've got time for today. I'm rambling a lot. I'm going to go work on the F1.5 season for 2016, as that's coming out soon. I've started it at least. I've also got another thing in the background, which I'm yeah, it'll be out whenever. I don't want to rush it. Don't want to rush back into this. I don't want to drown myself and yeah, I don't want to drown myself with it yet. But yeah, that's all I've got time for today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll catch you in the next one.